Well, hey there. Welcome back to my home. This is my craft room, and as promised, this is a four-part Operation Christmas Child crafting. We held a workshop at my church today, and all these baskets you see behind me are full of crafts and on the table before me that we did today, along with um, instruction sheets. And I was asked before I left if I would video how to make everything because not everybody that participates in Operation Christmas Child got a chance to come today. So I'm making the videos for them. The first project that I'm going to start with is these drink bottles, empty drink bottles that we're saving. We take the plastic off of the drink bottles, and then we never send anything empty, but it's got a lid. So we're putting a bandana wrapped around a fork and a knife, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. So this is what it looks like with the knife and fork in it that's going to go in the bottle. And all I have done is got some bandanas from the Dollar Tree, my favorite, and wrapped them in the bandana and rolled them up, and then we'll just insert it in one of the bottles. So these are leftover forks and spoons that we have saved from home, as well as some of our church suppers that we washed real good in the dishwasher. So essentially they were free. The bandanas were donated to us by an anonymous person. And all these drink bottles have come from various people too that have donated. So this is virtually a free item that we can put in the shoebox. And if you're not familiar with Operation Christmas Child, I'll just briefly tell you it's Franklin Graham with Samaritan's Purse. This is one of his ministries, many ministries, but this is one. And these shoe boxes are packed with toys for children, all kinds of things that little children can use. And it also has a book in it about Jesus. So they learn about Jesus before they get their shoebox. After they get the shoebox, they have the opportunity to participate in a week-long further training about the Bible. And we use the acronym EDM, which is for evangelism through the box, and then discipleship when we're teaching about Jesus and as our Savior, and then multiplication. We have an estimate that for each child that receives a box, 10 other people, family members and friends, are impacted. So on to our next craft. Our next crafting item is this little ball, and I'm going to play with my camera person. It's just a little fluff ball. And this came about because we were making jump ropes, we were making the t-shirt skirts, and we used every piece of that t-shirt that we could. And we had all these little pieces left over, so I started playing around, and we wound up making a little ball. So today they had the option of picking up one of these packets that has 80 5-inch links of 1-inch strips from the t-shirts, and I'm going to demonstrate how to do that. I'm just opening one of our packs, and if I'm real careful, I can still have them lined up. There's one, and you see they're not all exactly, because we had some of the youth in our church to help us cut, but 80 is just about all that I can hold in my hand, so I don't count them all. That, for our purposes, that's 80. So one of these strings that's in the package is longer than the other. We lay that down and just center this as best we can. Gonna make the first little tie and stretch and stretch and tighten. It won't break. I'm doing it just as tight as I can, and then one more time. Now, it looks pretty ragged, doesn't it? Okay, you can see what I do is if I see any that's real short or real long, I may make a little adjustments, but once I get it to this point, I crunch it, turn it over and crunch it, just so it'll start being a little more round. Then I grab my scissors. I'm gonna pull these so they're a little more even. There we go. I just take my scissors and I start cutting off the longest pieces. I had to get me some better scissors. So I just hold it up like this, and the ones that are obviously longer, I go ahead and cut them off. And then the closer you cut these to the center, the tighter the ball's going to be. Just a couple of things, that pointers. Be sure that when you cut your long strips, your long t-shirt strips, like this, your long t-shirt strips, that you stretch them. If you don't stretch this out before you cut, then these little 5-inch pieces will cling to each other, and it won't fluff out. So be sure when you cut your strings off the t-shirt that you stretch it before you measure 5 inches. And that's just arbitrary. If I put a ruler to this, you'll probably see that they're about 3 inches long. So we're starting out with 5, and we're just trimming it down until it gets a little bit tighter ball. And if you know me by now, my R7, my recycle, reuse, reduce, I save all these little scraps. We use this as filler on some of the little dolls and things that we make. So nothing is ever wasted. But here's your finished product, just a cute little ball. And you've used up all your scrap. Okay, here's craft number 3, this little cute little doll. It doesn't have a face, but if you want to make it out of some solid material and put a face on it, of course you can do that. It's got little arms, and it's holding a heart and a little bit of lace around its neck. So this is what the kits that we passed out today looked like. It had some material to make more. It had a pattern with one already cut out, and the fabric for the heart, the stuffing. But remember, we also used the little scraps from when we made the balls. So we have the little scraps that we can use it too. Okay, cute and simple. It's a straight stitch, just a slight curve here, and you're putting your little arms in. And the last craft that I'm going to show you in this episode is the little t-shirt skirt. It's the bottom part of the t-shirt. We cut it straight across right below the arm sleeves, and then there's a couple different ways to do it. If you turn it upside down, this is the way the t-shirt is cut, but if you turn it upside down, the hem of the t-shirt, you can thread a string through, and this can be a string or it can be another one of the 1-inch cuts off the t-shirt, pulled and stretched. And then just take a safety pin and stretch it, thread it through, and we put cute little beads on it just as an accent. So that's one example of the little skirt. This one also is the bottom of a t-shirt, but what we've done on this is we've left the hem of the t-shirt as the hem of the skirt, added a little ruffle of lace, and then turned the top down and made a casing and put elastic in it. Now this is for probably a 4-year-old, so the elastic waist is cut at 22, lapped over 1 inch on each end, so that makes a size 20 waist. And what we like to do is in the back where we've threaded the elastic, don't sew it down. That way, if they need it to be tighter, they can go in there and adjust it and hem it back. So that's a couple of examples, and this is what our little kits look like. They had the t-shirt bottom already cut off. They had the elastic, or some of them had the pull, and then we had the little beads, and we made the t-shirts. Okay, that's 2 examples of skirts. Here's another example. This one is called a gourd skirt, and you can tell that it's really made from just scraps. You have the gores. You cut 10 of these, sew them together, hem the bottom, hem the top with a piece of elastic, or you could use string. So that's another little skirt example. And then if you haven't ever seen the t-shirt dresses, the pillowcase dresses, this is what they look like. You take a pillowcase and just trim off the sides, turn it down to make a casing, and you thread the ties through. This one is a big one. It would actually fit me lengthwise, not around, but but it would fit me lengthwise. I usually tell you a little story while I'm talking about these. The little baby doll reminded me of one of the stories that they shared with us about a little boy. Each of these boxes have an age group and girl or boy on it. One of the stories that they told was about a little boy who came. He had a smaller sister, but she was sick that day and she could not come. And the whole time he was just saying under his breath, I hope there's a baby doll in my box. Of course, his was marked for a boy, so you would think that there probably wouldn't be a baby doll in there, but God knows, when he opened the box, there was a baby doll in there. He was overjoyed. Now, the children only get one box in their lifetime. So that was very special for him. He and his baby sister got to benefit from the efforts of somebody packing their box. Okay, this is the end of the first part. We've got 3 more to go. I've got lots of crafts to share with you that we made in our workshop today. If you'd like to donate to Operation Christmas Child, my address is Home and Hearth, P.O. Box 747, Barnesville, Georgia, and that should come up on the screen. Love y'all. God bless.